Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Mining. Got a quick update for you today. It has been officially 1 month since we have been solo mining ERGO. So the main thing I want to do in today's video is see how much ERGO did we mine, how much money did we lose, or maybe we broke even, but I'm pretty sure we lost a little bit of money, and if we should continue yield mining ERGO for the next month, or if we should switch to another coin. I want to explore kind of what is the best GPU mining yield coin right now. There's been a lot of things switching up right now, and altcoins have been making a little bit of a comeback lately. So we'll see what happens there. Now, one other update is that this rig right here is getting very low on cards. I've got about 4 left. I've been selling a lot of those For the Win 3 cards, probably averaging around 270 price. Now, I'm actually pretty excited for this rig to be empty because we can kind of take it apart and maybe fill in this second shelf with maybe that PC and some other ASICs and stuff, so everything's not kind of so crowded there. Now, before we check in on that ERGO stuff, I would like to check out this box that got sent over by Power Mining. So Power Mining sells a variety of different ASIC miners, but mainly they're in the solo mining game. And this is what's called the NerdQaxe. So this is actually over 4 terahash of Bitcoin solo mining power. So we're gonna set this up really quickly. I will leave a link to Power Mining down below, guys. I had not heard of them, but they are, I did my research, they are a legit manufacturer and seller. So let's check this thing out and get it set up. Then we will, I also want to fix this guy real quick. This is my little Bitcoin price tracker. I think I just need to set it up from scratch basically. And then we will get into the ERGO results and what are we going to mine next. Now, before I forget, how much wattage is the ERGO rig pulling? We are at 2370, and I believe we probably have 1300 watts being used by that and some of the other random devices. So I think it's safe to say that this is probably about 1070 watts. We'll see what it says in the software, but 1070 is probably what we'll go with. Hey guys, quick interruption to talk about today's sponsor, Via BTC. If you're mining Bitcoin or Litecoin, you're not going to want to miss this. Via BTC offers a few different ways to boost your mining rewards compared to other pools. First off, Via BTC offers merged mining. This allows you to mine multiple cryptos at the same time. For example, when mining Litecoin, you will automatically be mining Dogecoin, Bells, Pepe, Junkcoin, and Lucky Coin at the same time. Merged mining is also available on Bitcoin. The second way to earn extra income with Via BTC is pool referrals. Refer anyone and you can get 10 to 20% of their mining fees. Via BTC also has an insanely competitive 2-hour payout schedule. So if you aren't already, definitely check out Via BTC and see if you can increase your mining rewards today. I'll leave a link down below and let's get back to the video. All right, I'm actually pretty excited here because I thought this was just a BitX Gamma and it's actually an entirely new solo miner. So that means we get to add it to our solo mining spreadsheet and see kind of how many years does this thing take to actually hit a block. Since it's 4 terahash, it should be like under 10,000 years, which sounds like a lot, but it is solo mining, so you get what you get. So here is what the device looks like. It has a much bigger fan and heat sink than your typical BitX Gamma, but other than that, it looks pretty similar. You've got a little screen right here, and then what do we have? A power connection right here, and that should be about it. Now, I believe we have a stand in here. So pretty nice power supply. This appears to be almost a laptop power supply, a little bit bigger than your typical one you see. And then this is nice to see. It looks like we have an actual stand. So I'm not entirely sure. It does have standoffs on here. Let me keep looking through here and I'll update you guys. Haha, I should have just looked in the box. This is a screw bag with a little hex wrench. So you basically just screw this onto here and then you have a nice stand. So I love that. I'm gonna be able to put it up on the shelf. Let's go ahead and get that screwed in. I would have liked to see some normal screws, but hey, beggars can't be choosers here. Just gonna get the corner ones in and then maybe put a couple more in. I don't think I need to put in all 6. All right, let's do 2 more and then we'll get this thing set up and installed. Pretty nice looking, nice metal stand. Hopefully this has a little more kind of reliability and lasting capability than the Bitax Gammas. Speaking of which, while we're fixing all this stuff, this is supposed to just be an ERGO video, but got all kinds of stuff going on now. I do want to look at my Bitax Supra because that has not been mining. Yeah, I'm just seeing this now for the first time. Device overheat. I'm gonna just restart it and see what that does, but it seems like I need to go into the IP address and fix something. This is actually what it was telling me in another video, the chip count equals 0. So if anyone knows what's going on there, let me know. I'm just gonna go ahead and unplug this for now and see if any of you guys have any ideas on that. Okay, this is gonna look real nice up here. Scoot our Bitax Gamma over, place this right here. Boom, okay. Very, very convenient that I added this little power strip. I'm so happy I don't have to run everything down to this one down here. And actually, I'm gonna plug in a watt meter on this thing before I plug it in so we can get an idea of how much wattage it's actually using so we can get our monthly power cost. This guy right here. Thing's pretty big, honestly. All right, let me get this set up and then we'll hop into the computer. Okay, that's interesting. That NerdQaxe actually uses a decent amount of watts. See if I can show you guys that there. It's 86 watts. So we'll use that to calculate our power costs. That may be higher than I even want to keep on, but we will see. This thing's got a pretty sick screen on it. I'm trying to get it to focus there. You can see the live hash rate, so it's ramping up right now to the terahashes. It's got an uptime, kind of like that pink. It's got a temperature, fan RPM, and I also got this guy working as well. Bitcoin getting close to that 97K mark. Good to see. I definitely thought Bitcoin was going to go lower, but then again, stocks rebounded as well. So I was pretty wrong there, but I don't know if we're out of the woods yet. But okay, so let's hop in the computer. We'll review this real quick, and then we'll get into the ERGO stuff. Okay guys, we got it up and mining. It's actually running at 7.5 terahash right now, which is crazy high compared to some of my other solo miners. But overall, let's check out the statistics of this thing and see how does it compare to the other solo miners I've checked here or other lottery miners. The hash rate here is going to be, let's check the webpage one more time. So it does say only 72 watts, but we did see that it is 86. So the hash rate is 4.8 terahash, or that would be 4,800 gigahash. And then the wattage, we said 86.2. So the efficiency is interesting here. It's not as good as the Bitax Gamma, which we knew because the Bitax Gamma is technically the best solo miner right now, but still pretty high. It's better than the original Bitax, the Avalon Nano 3, the Lucky Miner. So that's actually pretty impressive. It's getting some good efficiency there. Now for the monthly cost, how much does this cost to run? Let's do this. It's going to cost $7 a month to run. So that is kind of the downside there, is that it is a lot more money than just the Bitax Gamma, which is going to cost $1 a month to run, but still $7. It's like the price of a lunch. I actually am okay with running that for right now, unless I get capped out in power. So I will leave this running. So average reward time, this is going to be fun. We need to go to a site that's called Solo Chance, I believe it's called. Yeah. And we're going to do this in gigahash, and we said 4,800. And that is saying that we are going to hit a block in 4,000 years. So that is much, much better than any other one that we've done so far. So 3,834. Now to get a direct comparison with these other ones, I need to actually go in here and update the average reward time on all of these, because as the Bitcoin hash rate increases, these numbers change drastically. So let's just take the Bitax. The hash rate is 625 gigahash, and our previous time was 24,000 years. Let's see what that is now. 29,000 years. So you can see it has changed a lot. So I'm going to quickly update all of these just so everything is accurate. Okay, so they are all updated now. The reward, I am just going to put this as 300,000 like the rest of them. And this is my favorite column here. This is going to take into account basically how much money you're getting divided by how many years it's going to take, and then the cost to run it all those years. Just to remind everybody, this is in comparison to a Powerball ticket here. So for a Powerball ticket, your reward per year per cost is almost 3, and the bigger this is, the better it is. So this device is technically, and I need to actually change the dang title here. That's going to make it confusing. So this thing is technically almost 4 times better than buying a lottery ticket, and it is the second best solo miner I've ever reviewed behind the BitAxe Gamma, and it's almost double the Lucky Miner LV07 and about 50% better than the BitAxe. So very interesting, cool device. Thank you for Power Mining for sending this over, guys. It is pretty expensive, I will say that. $563 for a solo miner is pretty hefty in my opinion. But as you can see, it is technically by the numbers almost as good as the BitAxe Gamma, though the BitAxe Gamma at such a lower price point is more appealing in my opinion. So thanks for them for sending that over. Okay, so now let's get into my ERGO results. I have been yield mining ERGO on 12 GPUs for the past month at this point. It's been almost exactly 30 days. Ignore my dog back there humping a pillow. But so it's been 30 days. I want to see how much ERGO have we gotten. Reminder, I had 0 when I started this, and how much money did we spend to get it, and how much money is that ERGO worth today. So real quickly, we established that rig is using 1,070 watts at my power cost of 11 cents. So let's set this to 30 days. And we spent $84.74 to mine ERGO for the past month. How much did we generate? Well, if we look at the herominers pool here, we can see total paid in ERGO is 66 ERGO, which at this point is 50.34 US dollars, which means we technically lost about $34 yield mining over the past month, which is unfortunate because that's almost double the $50 we earned. So we almost could have gotten double the amount of ERGO if we were just buying it ourselves. But granted, that would take actually logging into an exchange and doing it where this was totally hands off. Now, one thing I want to look into is ERGO's historical price here. So let's search up ERGO here, because the amount of money that we lost right now is not necessarily the full story. I like to look at kind of if ERGO peaked back to what it was the past year, what does that look like for us? And so if we have 66 ERGO and it went back to the $2 it was back in December, then that would be, what is that, $132. So in that case, if we sold then, we would have profited like $60 off of this solo mining adventure. But the real craziness comes if we look at the all-time historical price of ERGO, and it went all the way up to about $18. Now, it's pretty far-fetched to use this as the exact sell price that you would do, but still, let's see what our 66 ERGO would be worth if it was $18 a coin. And at that point, it would be $1,200, and we spent $84 to acquire it. So you kind of see the picture here of yield mining. As long as you hold relatively decent coins that you think may come back eventually in whatever future altcoin season happens, then you're going to be in a pretty good spot. And that's why I continue to have this one rig yield mining and generating bags of these smaller coins. And let's take a quick look at the portfolio just so you can kind of see what all these little bags look like. So when I say I have little bags of different coins, this is exactly what I mean here. I've got $400 of Caspa, I've got $250 of Dogecoin, $230 of Zealous, $158 of ETH POW, $151 of ALF, $138 of Zilliqa, $120 of Aether, $99 of Ethereum Classic, 72 of Aleo, 61 of Nexa, 59 of Flux. So as you can see, and then $50 of ERGO. I have a bunch of small bags of these coins in the hopes that even one of them goes 50x or something like that. It's going to pay for a lot of the other ones. So I'm just going to continue building these bags and we'll see what happens. So now that brings us to what coin do we want to mine for the next month. I'm going to continue yield mining. Let's quickly see what profits on a 3070 look like in general. Cubic at 4 cents. I don't like Cubic. I don't like all the different hoops and stuff you have to do to mine Cubic, so I'm not even going to look at that one. And then next up is basically negative coins. So we are still, unfortunately, in a very negative spot for GPU mining. Can't really mine at a profit right now, and maybe that turns around at some point, but it's not looking anytime soon, unfortunately. So we continue to yield mine, and if you can pay the power bill, then maybe it's not the worst. So there's definitely a small chance that I just continue mining ERGO. I like that it's relatively low power, pretty high market cap, and the yield was good last month. Let's actually see what the yield looks like now. I think I have to actually go to coins here and then search it in here. So yield is over the past month up 7%, so that's good. And if we look at a longer time frame, if we look at the longer time frame here, look at the difficulty. This is all the way back in December 2022. So let's do this a little closer time frame, all the way from like 2023. The yield is as high as it's been in terms of difficulty. So still a decent coin to mine, but let's take a look at the rest of the list and see if anything else kind of catches our eye. Flux is one that I'm pretty interested in as well. Let's go ahead and look at Flux and see what its difficulty looks like. So in terms of yield in the past month, we're down 6%. That's not really a huge difference. Let's look at the difficulty here. And we'll take it just over this time period here. Beginning being about the exact same as the last one, August, September 2023. And it's been relatively flat, but again, we are about at the lowest it's ever been. So both of these are very good options. I'm thinking I'm probably going to stick with ERGO, but one thing I do want to probably do is maybe switch off of herominers here. It says I should be getting 2.7 ERGO per day, but looking at my charts here, 2.25 is the highest I've ever gotten, and that seems a bit low. What does hash rate NO's numbers actually say? Go into the calculator here, find ERGO, and put in my exact stats. So in terms of mega hash, I'm using 1.578 gigahash, so that would be 1578 mega hash, and then we establish 1070 watts. What is that saying our yield should be? 2.69. So similar to what herominers is saying we should be getting, though I'm not actually getting that much on herominers. So let's check out mining pool stats and see is there any other pools that are semi-decent that maybe I could switch over to. 2 miners is an option. Woolly Pooly, K1 pool. I wish K1 pool had more hash rate because that's just so low. It's the equivalent of basically solo mining. I was going to switch to 2 miners, but I'm too lazy. So we'll leave it. Let's mine it for another month. Maybe get close to like 150 coins or something like that. That would be a much better bag than just the 66 coins I have now. I never mined ERGO back in the Ethereum days or right when it went proof of stake. So I'm definitely low on my ERGO bag compared to others, and I'd like to get that bumped up. So that's the plan. That is how our ERGO experiment went over the last month, guys. If you didn't see the first video of transitioning to ERGO, I will leave it up here on the way out. As always, thank you for watching Modern Mining.